It doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be done. I ignored this advice for 20 years because it was so damn easy and common. You would think a perfectionist would have a portfolio full of masterpieces, that I would grow up to be an expert painter, writer, designer, or calligrapher. But we can't tell any of these things for certain because I never even started. The thing about perfectionist mindset is that it isn't in your nature to fail or to create something that is less than perfect, even as a beginner. I just couldn't accept a bad sketch or a video with some mispronunciation, and that is very hard. And that is kind of impossible because failure is inevitable for beginners and I refused to be a beginner. I didn't want to learn, I wanted to already know. 8 years ago, one of my classmates was trying calligraphy. I have always been fascinated by girlies with those little hobbies writing, DIY projects, sketching, collecting flowers, the way they enjoy the process of becoming. I loved it. I wanted to be like that. I bought this metal nib pen 5 years later. 5 years. And oh my god, the way I still struggle with this thing. Not the calligraphy, but this pen. So imagine my disappointment when the ink refused to seep in the beginning. At that time, I gave up because it was already hard to handle this pen, and on top of that, it didn't look as pretty as those Pinterest images. It still doesn't in my view, but I will share anyways because it's part of the process. It's not the fact that I hated the struggle, but mostly I hated being seen in the middle of the struggle. But as we all know, you can't hide the construction site. It was a combination of multiple stuff going on in my life that last month something shifted in me. I accepted that I was already a failure because I never even tried. There were so many projects, so many things, so many ideas that I abandoned because I was not immediately good at it. I was not gifted. And suddenly my mind shifted. The pressure was not there. Without the weight of having to excel, there was finally room to be a beginner. I learned basic calligraphy in 10 days after 8 years. So, this is the only thing I will tell you that applies to so many things in life. It doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be done because perfecting is the process. Perfection is the last step, not the beginning.